going on, everybody? We're back with yet another video. How we doing? We're back. Yeah, been a couple days. Really, gonna be honest with you, ran out of video ideas. Gotta work on that. Yeah, I'll be. And I've had other stuff going on, but who cares about? We're here to make videos. My name is Cody Lear. If you haven't been here before, I hope you do enjoy what I'm doing here. We are constantly working on trying to um, update things. Hopefully, I don't mess up the mic by trying to turn it just a little bit here. But yeah, what is good, everybody? Hopefully, you can hear me a little bit more clearly. We are currently working on all that. I got to get the webcam set up sometime this week. Yeah, blah. Y'all don't want to hear all that. Let's talk sports. This weekend we had the Super Wildcard Weekend in the NFL. Um, a lot of road wins, really. That was I don't think, to be honest with you, I don't think a few of them were surprises. To be honest with you, felt like division winners were kind of a little bit stagnant this year, but we'll dive right into it. We're going to start off with Saturday. We had the Rams taking on the Carolina Panthers, as you probably hear my phone. The Los Angeles Rams win this game 34-31 against the Carolina Panthers. It was a good game, really was. Carolina's defense absolutely showed up. They got an interception on Stafford. They did play the ball fairly well. Obviously, the one big issue that they had is that they were struggling to stop the middle of the field, and for some reason, Stafford got away from that at some point in the game. Bryce Young, he showed up in his first playoff game. He did a really good job. I believe he went for about 256, touchdown and an interception. Chuba Hubbard, 2 touchdowns. Jalen Coker, touchdown. I believe he also caught a 2-point conversion. Jalen Coker had an absolutely phenomenal game. Puka Nacua had himself a touchdown. Kobe Parkinson had a touchdown. And Kyron Williams also had a touchdown. 3 of Matt Stafford's touchdown passes. Absolutely shout out to them. Not a single surprise whatsoever in those fronts. Really, when the game started, I thought this was going to be a dominant performance from the Rams. It started off really, really well for them. Bryce and Carolina definitely clamped down. They started playing really good close football, kept things really tough for them. And yeah, I think they kind of proved that they did deserve a spot. Now, you would argue that the Vikings or the Lions would deserve that spot with their 9-8 record compared to an 8-9 record. I completely understand where you're going from there. But for me, I think that the craziest thing for me is just that really how well the Carolina Panthers showed up. Granted, they played the Rams earlier on the season. They did get themselves yet another victory. It was, it was what it was. And the Rams finally got things going back into their favor late game, drove down the field, scored a touchdown, gave Bryce Young, I think it was like 39 seconds left on the clock. Bryce, unfortunately, just was not able to make the passes that he needed to make. Really, really tough for him. But hey, either way, Carolina unfortunately takes the loss. But I really think you're proud of the future for that team. That team showed up and it showed out this year. Yeah, not a bad performance at all for them. Now, my eyes are going to gleam up for a second as we quickly pull up Green Bay versus the Chicago Bears. As I scroll down here. Yeah. So, first things first. Absolutely masterful job by Jordan Love in this game. He was phenomenal in that first half. He was flinging the ball all over the field. He ended up having a really strong game. I know he had 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. Unfortunately, the defense, the special teams, everything just did not go well in that second half. I believe the score was 21-3 at halftime. They eventually ended up blowing it. I believe they start 27-31. Yeah, no, that was rough. Caleb Williams did not start off great. The defense really did clamp down the second half. Brandon McManus misses 2 field goals and an extra point. Definitely just kind of ruining all momentum for the Green Bay Packers in that front. Chicago on the other side, I mean, they've been the cardiac kids all year. When the fourth quarter hits, they suddenly just, turned it on. And that's not a bad sign whatsoever for them. I mean, I don't think that they're complaining at all. They got themselves a big, big win as they finally kind of get that monkey off their back. They hadn't been a playoff winner in quite a while, it felt like. They also beat Green Bay for the first time in a long, long time in the playoffs. No, absolutely great performance from Chicago. I don't know if that's going to carry over onto the next week. I think that you have to play better ball for 3 quarters. the fourth quarter stuff worked out this week. But hopefully, if you play a team that can keep their offense consistent for 3 quarters or for 4 quarters, then you might have a little bit of a struggle there. But I don't think Chicago is complaining. They're in the divisional round. They haven't been there in quite a while. They're going to take it from there. Now we're going to flip over to the AFC, actually, um, because Sunday morning we started off with the Buffalo Bills taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't know that reporter's name that gave Liam Cohen all that praise at the end. Definitely shout out to her. That was awesome to watch. Buffalo ends up winning this game. I believe that score was 27-24. Yes, it was. Trevor Lawrence, unfortunately, throws 2 really bad interceptions. It's just kind of how that goes in that front. Parker Washington, I would consider that his breakout game. 7 receptions, 107 yards, and he had really been playing really, really well uh, all season long, to be completely honest with you. Buffalo, we know who they are. They have Josh Allen. Josh Allen ran for 2 touchdowns. He threw one in with a lovely 36-yard bomb to Keon Coleman. Man, I would like to see more of those. I'm a big Keon Coleman fan, but hey, it's just how it goes there. Josh Allen, he's Josh Allen. He's one of the best players that I've personally gotten to witness, and I've watched football for a very long time. Well, and I don't even know if I should say best, but most exciting, absolutely. He was electric. He was electric. He led that team to a victory. Obviously, James Cook is a very good running back, but Josh Allen ran for 2 touchdowns. He also scored through the air 2 field goals. They won 27-24, unfortunately, on a bad Trevor Lawrence interception. But absolutely shout out to the reporters who gave Liam Cohen all that praise and happiness. I love seeing that in sports. That is awesome. I don't care what anyone says. That is awesome. Shout out to them. We are going to flip over to the last NFC game, and we're finally going to get to some snoozers. The rest of these games are going to be kind of snoozers. The San Francisco 49ers won 23-19 against the Philadelphia Eagles. We will start here. Brock Purdy threw 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And with that kind of stat line, you're kind of thinking, okay, well, they probably didn't win, right? No, they did. The Philadelphia Eagles defense played well. Yeah, it played really well. I mean, I think you're pretty happy to let a team only score about 23 in the playoffs. But the offense was struggling to score. Jalen, I know he does throw 1 touchdown. Obviously, there's some anger on the sidelines with A.J. Brown. I'm a Titans fan, so let me tell you, used to it. Jake Elliott, he did miss a extra point. That is kind of where the score kind of leads it here. We now know, because San Francisco won, that they will be the team that has to take on Seattle. They unfortunately lose George Kittle to a torn Achilles. That's rough. They still have Christian McCaffrey, though. They still have some solid receivers. The Eagles, it's kind of crazy that unfortunately that the Super Bowl champions get out in the first round. It's definitely happened before, but it was definitely kind of weird to see for sure. San Fran, I sure hope they do well. I know that after that, Robert Saleh is being looked at for a lot of head coaching jobs, so hopefully that he gets that. I definitely will root for him after what happened with New York. I'd like to see him get another shot, if at all possible. So, hey, we'll see how it goes over there. But hey, shout out to San Fran making it to the divisional round to take on the Seattle Seahawks. And we know now that the Rams will be taking on the Chicago Bears. Let's go over to the AFC. So, the Los Angeles Chargers went on the road to take on the New England Patriots. This game was a snoozer as well. And there's a reason for that. Justin Herbert had no time. No time at all. And to be completely honest with you, um, you see a lot of people say, we had to stop giving Justin Herbert excuses, and I completely understand that front. I, I this is the one that I think I kind of have to kind of understand it. He threw for 159 yards. He still ran for 57. He tried getting the ball down the field. There were a lot of drops. That happens in football. We can't give everybody the excuse on that one. The injuries on the offensive line, I think, are really tough. 2 all-pro tackles are out. Now, in New England, I mean, we can't just discredit them. Their defense played absolutely phenomenal, and I think that is the moral of the story. There is that New England's defense still played a phenomenal game. Drake May, he really was not that impressive in the game, but he still scored enough to win. That's the only part that matters to anybody, including me. Yeah. And of course, now we know after this one, Buffalo will be heading into Denver to take them on, and the New England Patriots will be taking on the winner of the Monday night game. I definitely think that the performance will have to be a little bit better. Two really good defensive minded teams. But let's talk about it now. The Houston Texans are on the road and they took on the Pittsburgh Steelers and they win this game brutally. It was pretty rough, 30-6. You look at the scoring summary and yeah, so it's 7-6 at half. It stays that way into the fourth quarter. 23 unanswered in the fourth quarter. That was pretty crazy. 30-6. A strip sack fumble by Will Anderson, which was picked up by Sheldon Rankins and ran into the end zone. Woody Marks eventually gets himself a touchdown as well in the fourth quarter, and a pick six from Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, this was not the best performance for the Steelers whatsoever. The offense was absolutely abysmal. Defense, I thought, played okay. I mean, I don't think you're complaining too much if your defense is only letting up about 14 to 17 points, but they still could not really get anything going on the offensive side. Uh, yeah, no. Pittsburgh is unfortunately heading home once again. Obviously, we have a couple news to talk about ever since our head coaching carousel conversation a few days ago, if even a week ago at this point. Uh, I'm waiting to see all the candidates because I want to get that head coaching video out for you all. But yeah, that one. Uh, here, you know what? We talked about we talked about Houston. We talked about Steelers. Let's dive into it. So first, we'll quickly talk about Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel was not mentioned in my first head coaching carousel video. I was kind of shocked that he was not mentioned on those first 2 days, but I think the news of John Harbaugh being let go is really where we kind of got Mike McDaniel. I think that Miami definitely wanted to take a big shot at John Harbaugh, and that was probably the case there. Miami's issues have been injuries. They have been personnel. You've had a quarterback that just kind of he's been inconsistent at times. He has struggled to beat really top teams, but he also had gotten the team to the playoffs a few times. So in those cases, I was kind of okay. Maybe you give him another year because your record was still okay. Your record was still okay. I liked Mike McDaniel, and I thought he had finally improved at like getting players to play harder. That was the big struggle with him for a few years, right? As everyone said, well, that team just doesn't care. They don't want to at all. And Mike McDaniel seemed to be clamping down a little bit. So I was thinking, okay, well, maybe he'll be in the part of the GM search. But in those regards, as we hear John Eric Sullivan, I believe was his name, is the new general manager from the Green Bay Packers. So yeah, that was the case. The odds are, as it turned out to be, that the GM probably wanted his own head coach, or flip flop. Stephen Ross wanted a new faces in the building, and I can completely understand that. So definitely, it's definitely tough for Mike McDaniel. I'm a big fan. Um, I mean, his press conferences were sometimes funny and also sometimes cringy. It was kind of crazy, but I guess that's how it goes. But now we're on to the big news. Mike Tomlin. We talked about the game against the Houston Texans earlier on, obviously, and now we have to talk about Mike Tomlin stepping down. Mike Tomlin's stepping down was crazy to me. Obviously, I did not expect it at all. The rumors that you hear all the time are like, okay, well the Steelers are fed up of this, the Steelers are fed up of that they're just not winning games. And the problem is with being a Pittsburgh Steelers head coach is they have won 6 championships. So yeah, Pittsburgh fans were kind of spoiled back in the day. Obviously, Bill Cowher ends up winning one in 2006. Mike Tomlin, I don't remember what year it was, but I know it was over the Arizona Cardinals. He gets himself one as well. Yeah, and it's kind of tough like that. It's kind of like what we talked about Harbaugh. When you win a championship, people probably start expecting, hey, we should probably be going farther in the playoffs. And the Steelers had not gone farther in quite a while. In fact, I'd kind of looked at a stat of the AFC divisional rounds. You don't see the Steelers for about 7, 8 years at that point. It's tough. And I think I want to see what happens moving forward. I don't know if Tomlin is a head coach. I think that the reason he's stepping down is he just wants a break from coaching. And I could definitely understand that for him. He's been a phenomenal coach for a long time, was a great defensive coordinator, and obviously he's been a really good head coach. He never had a losing season. Not a lot of people can say that. That's really how it is. In fact, John Harbaugh can't say that. He went 8-9 this year. It's tough. I'm a big Mike Tomlin supporter, so hopefully we get to see more of him. His sound bites, his press conferences are the best. And now I believe Andy Reid is the longest tenured head coach, which is kind of crazy. I think I looked at a stat that in 2 years, the three longest tenured head coaches who had been there for quite a while had left. And yeah, kind of crazy to be honest with you. In fact, I think now officially every head coach from NFL head coach '08 is no longer the head coach of their football team. Pretty crazy to think about if you're me, obviously. But that being said, thank you guys for making it all the way to the end of the video. We talked about the Wildcard Weekend. We talked about the head coach carousel we've been talking about. I need to get more videos out for you guys because I really am having so much fun learning how to do this stuff. I'm not gonna lie. I hope the mic sets up really well because I was working on that for like 40 minutes trying to figure it out. But regardless, thank you guys so much. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, I want to see y'all more. If you give me a minute of your time, I'm going to love you for life. Give me a like, give me a comment, give me a subscribe. See you on the next video, everyone.